Hey guys, welcome back to Spooky Tuesday, a weekly podcast where we're breaking down all of our favorite slashers, thrillers, monster movies, and black comedies on the new scariest day of the week. I'm Sydney Thompson.
I'm Monica Height.
And I am Chelsea Duff. And you guys, welcome back. We missed you.
We're back.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So long.
Do we look
It's
like
so
really? Do we look well rested though? Do we look like we're glowing after a long sleep?
Right?
So
ready for another 5 years.
10 years of Spooky Tuesday.
That one break was enough to power us through.
Those 5 weeks or 4 weeks, that's all we needed.
The extra 2 weeks, guys, really made the difference.
I really missed y'all though, and I'm very excited to be back today, even though we're doing one of the most depressing movies of all time. I am excited about it.
Okay, that's my cue, I guess. That's my cue. Sorry, am I rusty? Who knows? Anyway, the answer is no. Anyway, this week we're doing a movie that I introduced before the holiday break. And I was like, why are we doing this Christmas movie after Christmas? You'll see, because I swear there was something that I remembered about this movie that I don't think I saw this time around. But we'll talk about it. This movie is called Silent Night. It's from 2021. It has an absolutely stacked cast. Monica and I randomly discovered it, I think, when we were watching Santa's Sleigh together. I think 2 years ago.
Yeah.
We were just like, we had to watch Santa's Sleigh because we were covering it, and we were just scrolling, and we saw this as well, and we were like, oh, what's that? So many people in it.
Keira Knightley.
Yeah, Keira Knightley, Kirby Howell Baptiste, Lucy Peoples, etc. Is that her name?
Lily Rose Depp,
etc., and so forth.
The little boy from Jojo Rabbit.
Jojo Rabbit, right? Yeah. And by the way, the writer-director of this movie, Jojo Rabbit's mom. And the
writer-director of this movie, Jojo Rabbit's mom, his brothers in the movie are his brothers.
Jojo Rabbit's brothers, yeah. Family
crazy.
Project. But if you don't know what Silent Night is about, and perhaps you don't, because there's like 5 Christmas movies all called Silent Night, let me clear it up for you. The IMDb description for this Silent Night reads, Nell, Simon, and their 3 sons are ready to welcome friends and family for what promises to be a perfect Christmas gathering. Perfect except for one thing. Everyone is going to die. I suspect that's probably like in the trailer for this movie, but Monica and I didn't watch any of that shit. We just came in completely blind when we watched it. But how about you, Sydney? What was your first experience?
I did not look anything up for this movie, and I did not read anything, which is rare for me. So I went in like totally blind, and my first immediate thought was, God, this Michael Bublé song is so loud.
You know what?
It's so loud.
It was so loud. I was like, it should be slightly softer. Like, I'm overwhelmed.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was just like, it should have been titled something different. Like, there's so many Silent Night things. Like,
yeah,
I get like it wants to be reminiscent of like a Christmas song and like all that kind of stuff, but like, I don't know, the title and everything that's in it is like such a disconnect for me.
I get what they were doing with the song title or the title of the movie, because it's like Silent Night, and spoiler alert, like everyone dies. Like
it's like a silent night, and would you say it's also a deadly night?
Yeah, it would be, but they can't call it that. They certainly can't call it that. Yeah, I think that there's a lot of barriers to entry for this movie that are the reason why it doesn't necessarily have like a super high score anywhere, especially in the hearts of our patrons, our top tier patrons on our Discord.
Such haters, even though I was like, you guys, I picked this movie. Come on.
And I co-signed it.
Chelsea.
Come on, you guys.
And Sydney, just an innocent bystander here.
Sydney Innocent. Classic Sydney Innocent.
And look, I can understand the criticisms that I saw from them. We'll get into all of it. But I just don't agree because I watched this movie last night and I was like enraptured, like sitting here in my chair, leaned back, just like locked in. For
I was
the
getting
hour
emotional
and
today, too.
24 minutes. Yeah, it's an emotional movie. And I think that it's a British comedy, horror comedy. And I read a lot of stuff on Reddit, people's reactions, because I was just curious. A lot of people were like, you should not have called this a horror comedy. I watched it with my child on Christmas Eve, and we are really sad now. And I'm like, yeah, okay, that's
You
fair.
shouldn't
but
have
also,
called it a horror
fucking-
comedy because then I wouldn't have watched it with my child.
I think it's because
Right?
it's so bleak. They thought it would be like Silent Night, Deadly Night. You know, like
Oh.
something that's like a more funny, but it is a British
It's very
horror
funny,
comedy.
I
It is,
It's very
Yeah, but
funny. It's got very dark, dry humor that's very
which is the British way.
Like,
Very, very, very
You
British.
chose
and
to show your
very,
child a horror movie. I don't know.
I know, but it's very
All right,
subtle
sure,
type of
yeah.
comedy. It's like nuanced, like wordplay type of comedy. It's not like I fell on the knife or I stepped on the edge of a rake and it hit me in the face or something like that. You
Well,
know what I mean? Like
and
it's
here's
just
the thing
it's
too.
different.
Like their kids now, they like when you're watching like a horror comedy and like somebody jokingly like hee ha ha blows up or something, you know, like that's funny. But when you're talking about like a very bleak British
Yeah.
apocalyptic end of the world where the parents are killing their own kids with your small child, like you got to answer questions.
Yeah,
after
but
that,
as we
you know?
talked about, the woman in black is like perfect for children. So why
Exactly.
not this film?
That's because the parents weren't directly killing the kids. An evil, spooky ghost was. It's different.
I think that that parent, maybe that's on them for not.
Oh
Here's the
yeah.
thing, it's always on the parent.
Don't worry
I
about
think
them. They
that's
made their
your
bed.
responsibility.
That they made their bed. I just think that it's a quiet type of horror movie, and I think that it brings up a lot of like fucking horrific existential
Yes.
questions. Like it begs you, because like some people are like, oh, I couldn't really connect with the characters because they're so awful and blah 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 blah. But like it begs you to ask these same questions to yourself, and it's something you never want to ever think about. At least I'm not trying to think about death all the time, but it's coming up all the time, and here we are. But like it's what would you do if you had children in this situation? Like, how do you explain this to a child? How do you make the choice? What's the right choice? It's like an impossible situation. And these are some medium shitty people, but it's also like, what would you do if you knew that it was the last night of your life also? Like, would you air it all out? Would you try to keep it
Who do you spend it with?
happy-go-lucky?
Right.
Would you shoot your shot with your sexy Prince Charming you pined for years? Like, what would you do? Like, it's just, it's so interesting. And I think they do not a perfect job, but a really good job here diving into it. I really enjoyed it.
It wouldn't affect us because we'd all be vampires.
Oh, we don't know that the poison gas wouldn't kill the vampires, Sydney.
Well, we don't know if the poison gas would kill anybody, actually.
Actually, we're vampires and we don't need to breathe, so we're going under the sea.
Exactly.
Yeah. They're really good at swimming sometimes, or sometimes they can't go in water. It depends. It actually depends on what kind of vampire you are. It depends on which book we're reading from.
We're going to be swimming vampires because I like the water.
I want to be a swimming vampire too. So I'm glad we're on the same page. So make sure you only get bit by that kind of vampire. For context, Sydney said earlier today when we were pre-chatting about some pluribus related stuff that if she became a vampire, she would just turn all of us into vampires and we would have no choice. So she would be with us for eternity.
Yeah.
And it's a non-negotiable, just so you know. So watch out.
She really was not allowing me to negotiate. That was
No,
very
this
clear.
is
He
not-
tried to
What part of
negotiate.
non-negotiable do you not understand, Chelsea?
She was shut
You know
down
what?
instantly.
I forgot that I'm not the boss of my own life around these parts.
Exactly.
That
No.
was my bad.
That's
Welcome
me.
back to Spooky Tuesday. You are no longer the master of your own destiny.
Your life is not your own. Your life is Sydney's.
Exactly.
Okay, here's
As
the
it should
thing.
be.
When I introduced this movie before the break, I was like, why are we doing a Christmas movie after the break? You'll see. Did I miss it this time? Because I swear that I remember from when we first watched it, Monica, that they reveal at some point it's not really Christmas. They're pretending that it's Christmas. Did I make that up?
I don't remember that.
I don't remember that.
I didn't see anything in it this time, but I swear I must have made this up. I swear I was like, it's not even really Christmas. They've just decided for their last night going out that it's going to be Christmas. They're gonna like end on a high note.
I have
And
like when you say that, I think about it, and I think that I think that I've heard about that before. But like, was that just a conversation that we had afterwards? Like, was it really Christmas?
I guess it could have been because I was trying to Google it, and I saw somewhere on a Reddit thread that was like, I guess we don't specifically know that it is actually Christmas or Christmas Day. It didn't look wintry enough, but then of course it does snow in the final scene,
night.
so it's like, well, it's not summer, unless
mean,
of
it could
course
be-
it's not snow. Could be like ash or something.
And it could be
Some
snow
sort
if
of-
like an apocalyptic like thing goes.
That's
if they
true.
fuck
If
up.
this is an apocalyptic climate disaster, it could be like the day after tomorrow where shit's happening that wouldn't normally be happening. But I swear that I picked this movie for post Christmas because there was a reveal that it's not really Christmas. They're just pretending. And then when they were doing the Michael Bublé song in the opener, I was like hee hee ha haing to myself because there's a lyric in it that's like play along, and get the Christmas sweater on. I was like, ha ha ha, what a clever choice. And then there was never a reveal. I was like, wait a second.
You're like,
Well, I mean,
"Wait."
that does still work. That's like honestly hilarious that we picked this for the specific
I was
reason.
like,
I didn't remember
I'm
that
so
going in.
smart.
I was like, oh, we didn't do a Christmas movie, but we can do one after because this one isn't that Christmassy. Because
And
I mean,
also
it is,
'cause it's
but
like,
it's not.
do you want to watch it before Christmas? Kind of, like we said, kind of bleak.
Kind of bleak. Kind of bleak. It feels fitting for January, though. Bleakest month
Also
of the
kinda
year.
bleak.
You thought
What about
November bleak was that?
November?
No, November has Thanksgiving. You get to eat a whole
That's
turkey
true.
and
January's been
stuffing. Don't even
There's
get me
still
bad
started
so
football
about
far.
going
stuffing.
on.
January's been bad so far.
I know.
January
7
has been
days
pretty bad
in,
so far.
free trial over. Actually,
Oh my god,
return.
lots of bad shit
God.
happening in the United States, you guys.
But for this movie, I think that that's a brilliant concept, and I wish that that was true what you said and what. Because I looked it up. I read like 5 articles about this. They don't mention that shit one time, and it's not in any of the trivia or anything. So I don't know.
Where'd you guys watch this?
On Tubi.
I rented it.
I also watched it on Tubi.
It was free on
and
Tubi.
it had like the commercials, but no ads in it, which I was like, slay.
I know.
But then I was like, maybe this is like the cut for TV version, and so we lost that scene somewhere along the way. But now I'm just doubting that it ever existed. There is one moment where he's like looking at Jojo Rabbit is like looking at his presents wrapped in newspaper. And I'm wondering if you would be able to like see a date on there potentially. But that wouldn't have been the reveal. It'd be way too subtle. So now I'm just like, maybe I'll go try and investigate. But that was literally the reason I picked this film, and maybe that was the friends we found along the way. I don't know.
Either way, I'm glad we watched it, so it's fine.
Did you like it? Did you have
did.
fun? Yay!
Even though it
Yay!
was so bleak, I still had a good time. Like, even
I think it's funny.
I watched it this morning when I was like, and I had it on in the background, so I was like, when you like kind of pay attention, and I was like working and I had it on, and then eventually I just found myself not working and paying attention to the movie.
She got
It
sucked in,
you
folks.
in. I think, yeah, it's like one of those brilliant ones that it's like exactly what I'm looking for. I was just talking shit about Stranger Things, where the world got too big for me. We're not going back to that. The world stays so small here. Everything is so small and contained. This story with all these people and their interpersonal strife. I love it. Okay, it's about the whole world ending too. I get that part, but it's not talking about
but we
that
don't
too much.
focus
So it's
on
okay.
that. We
It's
focus
okay.
about these horrible posh people.
Yeah. They're awful. It's so funny. I just love it. I love all the little details. I loved going into it blind, like we all did, not knowing that it was about them all dying by the end of the night or whatever, or an apocalyptic scenario, because like all the little quips and weird shit that they're saying was so confusing when I first watched it. I remember like them being like, "Oh, like it's so great to see you. Ugh, we're getting older, aren't we?" And then he's like, "Well, we were." What?
Right? It's
And it's like,
you're
what?
like,
They're
what?
also vampires?
The beginning when like Keira Knightley's like going crazy. Nell, sorry, I actually remembered her name. Crazy. New Year, new me. Nell's like going crazy trying to cook everything, and then in the background, or no, she's upstairs putting her makeup on. But Jojo Rabbit, I'm gonna call him that the whole time.
Yeah,
Art
that's his name.
Is doing his chopping, and in the background you see this man you do not know who he is, like jumping with birds, and I was like, what the fuck is going on? And he's releasing all of the chickens because he wants them to have a fair like shot
They
at
thought
life,
it would be
I
kinder
guess.
for the foxes to get them first, is what they say.
God, yeah, that's true. That's pretty sad.
Chickens are pretty scrappy though, so they could have made it.
Yeah.
Well, we saw
They could have
Belinda in
gotten
the
to, like, a
road
little
later.
hole or something too.
And there's just so many good little details. Like, I was so obsessed that Jojo Rabbit Art cuts his hand, bleeds all over those carrots, and then like every woman in the family eats the bloody carrots and are like, huh, as they eat it, but they're
It's
all just
so
like eating
gross.
these bloody carrots. It's
so gross,
it's
and
so
also
good.
it doesn't matter.
Right?
There's
Like, who
nothing
cares?
bad can come from this because they're all dying tonight anyway.
I think they'd be fine either way. I mean, it was different because it was my blood, but one time I was making a martini and I was cutting the lemon rind to be the twist on top, and I cut my hand and I dripped hella blood into my martini. I still drank the whole thing, and it was fine, and it
just
didn't even
adds
taste weird.
You
iron
returned
to
it
Umami.
to origin. But yeah, there's a lot of really interesting clues in the beginning before they really like get into what's going on. Like there's the bit about the foxes with the chickens. They're saying, and a lot of it is like really, really subtle, like no TV, no iPhones, no Googling. Like that's all normal stuff maybe you would say to your kids on Christmas. Like just stay off the phones, be with your family for the holiday. But it's like they don't want them like following the news, like seeing like where's the cloud reached or whatever.
Yeah.
They're talking about
And
like
then the swearing shit was so
which is
funny. Like,
so
why would
funny.
they allow the kids to swear only on Christmas Eve? Like, that doesn't make any sense, and it's just so funny.
You can't call Kitty a cunt. We agreed that would be too far.
That's the line. Yeah, that's the line.
And I love that they like specifically had to say like you can't call Kitty a cunt because they knew they would otherwise, because everyone in that family hates Kitty
Everybody
so
was thinking it.
much. So
But yeah,
funny.
you see like Keira Knightley is doing all of these like wonderful Christmassy touches. They've all got their Christmas jumpers. They're doing this big feast, blah, blah, blah. And then she's just going around like throwing all the dirty laundry, all of the dirty liniments. It just gets like shoved in a trunk. It just gets like thrown in a closet. It's like one of
like,
those
that's
things
how
where
I
you know
do when people are coming
Right,
over too.
for
So
sure.
like end of the world, regular person with ADHD.
Yeah. It's like kind of the same thing. But it is
Out of
one
sight,
of
out of
those things
mind.
where it's like an interesting character detail where when you know what's going on, it's like she normally wouldn't be the kind of person who's just like shoving it somewhere for later. She'd like deal with it nicely. But it's like, well, the laundry's not going to get done. That's not my priority now. So yeah, it just goes out of sight so that we can have this like lovely experience. But that's it.
Yeah,
It must be
just
Christmas though. Okay, it must actually be Christmas time. Maybe it's not Christmas Day, but it's like Christmas time. Because the Michael Bublé song is playing on the radio. They're all singing
radio. That's what I was
along.
gonna say earlier. Like, I think it's at least within the 2 months before Christmas when Coast 103.5 has flipped to Christmas music.
It's gonna at least be early November.
Yeah, can't be any earlier than that.
I love when it's Bella and Alex, her wife.
Yeah.
When they come in and they're like, "Oh my God, an Hermes coat." She's like, "Yeah, I had to punch somebody for it." And she's like, and she's like, "Yeah, I fought somebody, and she took a punch." And then she was like, "Well, she could have at least stolen something for you." And you still have no idea what's going on. So you're just like, huh?
Yeah, they bring in the sticky toffee pudding. She's like, just go break into Tesco.
No.
He's like, what if Tesco's closed? She's like, then bring a mallet. Like, hello.
Yeah. And then he's like
so
authentically
excited.
going to get a mallet. And you're like, what the fuck's
like,
going on? When they're like,
Mhm.
oh my God, look at your amazing shoes. You're like, oh yeah, it was Kitty's college fund.
And she's
Like,
like,
I
oh, why
should
didn't
have
I think of that?
So funny. I just think
so
there's so
funny.
many fucking hilarious details. And it's also just interesting because you don't know like who these people are to each other for a while into this. And I just think one of the most fascinating things for me is like this like friend group because they're all friends. It's not their family. That's what I thought at first, that some of them were like sisters or something. I just didn't remember. Like they're all like friends from sixth form. Yeah. Or maybe even before that. But they've been friends since they were like 14, like before they were 14. And something that I thought was such an interesting dynamic is like obviously there's a core group here. There's Nell. God, I should pull up IMDb. I only remember two people.
I just pulled it up.
Nell and Simon. No, I got it. I have it up right here. Nell and Simon and Bella, Tony, and Sandra. Who's Alex? No, not Alex. Sorry, that's not what I'm trying to say. Nell, hold on. Nell, just let me say what I'm trying to say. Nell, Simon, Sandra, James, Bella, and Tony, they all went to school together. But then we have these like innate outsiders to this group. It doesn't matter how long they've been tangential to this, but they aren't that immediate crew, which is Lily Rose Depp's character Sophie, who's Simon's not new girlfriend, but new
very
enough,
young wife,
much younger. I don't think they're married.
I think just girlfriend, but I don't know. I guess.
And then
when I went and read, it said his like young wife.
Oh, okay. And then Alex too is also like not part of that original crew who's married to Bella. And it's just so interesting of like how they decided to, it just shows all these power dynamics right away within these different couples too, because like it's the last night on Earth. And who are they with? They're with their partner's friends, not their friends. Like Alex is like, oh, did you invite Lizzie? Who the fuck is Lizzie? We never find out. But like,
Lizzie never materializes.
Lizzie never
forgot about her.
They forgot to invite her, but that was the one person Alex was like actually homies with, who's in this like greater group, and she's not invited. So like, it's so interesting because I feel like this whole movie like gets into the like not total nitty gritty because again like they don't really get so into every single character, but the nitty gritty of like the like different ways that these people interact with each other and the flaws in their relationship and the strong parts of their relationship. And it's just so interesting because it seems like Bella like runs the fucking show and in this relationship with Alex, and Alex is such a sweetheart and is there to support her, but like Bella kind of is like steamrolling, and it's like makes sense even with her like being there at all that night. Like everything that she is like interested in and wants to do is like not going to happen. They're not going to play Trivial Pursuit or whatever it was, like all of those things. So it just it's interesting too, like who you would choose to be with on your like final night alive. So many existential questions.
I mean, it's their final night for all of them. And it's the final night before the poison, but we also get like glimpses of the larger world because Sophie, I think her name, Lily Rose Depp's character,
Sophie,
she was with like a different group of friends the night before, like being witness for all of them as they like danced to Madonna and Britney and Celine Dion. She says,
okay, was that her saying that she was there to watch them all die?
Yeah,
because she said bear witness. She just never got to like finish what she was saying totally. So that's what I thought, but I wasn't sure. Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was like I had my night with my friends, and I'm not taking the pill, so I was there to just like be with them all through it, and now I'm here for one more night with you guys, and then I guess that's it for me one way or another. But yeah, it's interesting to see
sad
the way they parsed it all, and like grandma's off alone in the city, presumably.
I think that was one of my favorite parts of the whole movie was the face or the Zoom with grandma.
Yeah.
Because one is just like that lady snatched, good for her.
Yeah.
Two, like it was so interesting because this whole night we've seen Nell and Simon play the role of parents, and they've tried so hard to keep it all together. Nell has that one moment where she like almost totally loses it while like doing a prayer at the dinner table, but she's been trying to like keep a brave face and be incredibly positive and be like, we're having a party, it's Christmas Eve, it's fun for the
And
whole
we're
family.
thankful to God for his beautiful palace of heaven. And Sage's like, and it's fun. It's fun up there too, right?
Oh,
Remember
love
that
it.
it's fun.
We love it. We love it.
We love
We
had
heaven.
a
Be
great
so
we
fun
time.
to
play
go
games
one day.
and tomorrow, tonight. And also like her, like when the grandma's like, oh, and you know, my husband, your grandfather is up there, and he's gonna welcome us all there, and they're putting on this brave face, and then
He's going to be
but
so excited to see us.
But then Nell is like faced with her own mom, and she's the little girl in that moment, you know, and you see her like break in that moment that like she's
And she has
scared
to
and she
leave.
wants her mommy. And now her mommy is gonna like die right before her eyes because she's closer to the cloud, I guess.
And her mom's alone. Because wasn't she like, she's all alone? Like, we're
Yeah,
not
she's
Yeah.
all
we're
alone
not
out there.
But the
And
whole exchange where she's like, I gotta call the bridge girlies because she realizes like clock is a ticking. I
like
gotta
I
get
gotta
off this
do it now.
Zoom. Yeah, I gotta do it now. But Roman, Jojo Rabbit is like, no, call her. I didn't get to say goodbye. We gotta call her back. Like that is a heartbreaking exchange where he is
Devastating.
not understanding why they can't just call back
her
and say
back.
goodbye. And it's like, well, my sweet darling, there's no bridge club. I know.
Oh, sweet
You know,
summer
there's no
child.
bridge club. I don't know what to tell you.
It's so shocking. That's one of the things I love the most about this movie is like we'll have these hilarious and stupid and like asinine interactions between people. Um and then you'll have this like moment that sobers you up for a second. You're like, fuck. Like think about what's at stake. Yeah, they're being real cheeky about it, but like they're dying tonight. Like
But like, you
it's
remember what's actually
Yeah.
happening around them. Like,
those
you're like,
Oh my
slaps in the
God.
face just like whoof, they get you so good, and that one really got me. I
All of the stuff with Sandra and James, like leading up to the big conversation, makes it seem like it is just like all of this stupid bullshit of like, I never got to sleep with the hot guy that I wanted to, my friends that I've been lusting after my whole life. Like,
my Prince
I'm stuck with my
Charming.
boring husband, and my Prince Charming is right over here. And now he's got this young girlfriend, blah, blah, blah. It makes it all seem like so surface level shallow, and then they finally get to
Especially
that conversation.
yeah. Sorry, just before you say that part, especially when Simon is like Sandra's like everybody wanted to fuck me, and and Simon's like I never wanted to fuck you, and she's like what?
what?
And she
Nell, did you
turns
know
to
this?
Nell. Did you know this? And then Alex is like, did she know that her husband didn't want to have sex with you? And she's like, don't judge me. This is very shocking.
I feel
I thought that
like
was so
I just
funny.
assumed that
I feel
everybody
like
I
did.
just thought
that was
everybody
such
wanted
like
to
a
fuck me.
me. Like, I saw myself in that moment, right?
And that's Malignant. That
Mhm.
Annabelle Wallace. She
Yeah.
is Malignant. I love her so much.
I was like, I swear
So
we've seen
stunning.
her in something else because we were talking about Malignant recently, but it was the sister from Malignant who was in Bone Lake that you and I saw.
Yes. Oh my God.
Mm.
Bone Lake on the pod when? That would be fun. We would have fun.
February? Question mark.
That'd be
Valentine's
the
Day
perfect
question
time to do it actually. Okay.
mark?
Keep that in mind,
Something
listeners.
to look forward to.
But yeah,
Um,
it's so silly, it's so facetious, it's so ridiculous. And then, sorry, Chelsea, continue.
Well, there's a moment in the beginning too when they first come in. Also, when she like Sophie goes to hug her, and she like literally holds her at arm's distance, and then James come in, and she just like wraps him up and presses her whole body against him, and like really lingers on him, and
Like
it's like
rubbing.
"Prince
And like, will not let
Charming."
him go.
And then they're all just like, all the adults are sitting around. And it's just like, how come we never had sex? Like, how come we never hooked up? And you think it's one of those moments where it's like, she's shooting her last shot before the end of the world. But the friends jump in. Lucy Punch is her name, by the way, not Lucy Peoples. Don't know who Lucy Peoples is. Tried to Google to see if that was a person. Not as far as I can
Oh,
tell.
I had no idea what we were talking about earlier, so I was just like, we're gonna roll with it. It's not something I'm
Yes.
supposed to know.
Lucy Punch plays Bella, and she also plays Sally Peep in The 10th Kingdom. And Cinderella's stepsister, ugly stepsister, whenever Cinderella has an ugly stepsister. Such as in Ella Enchanted and also in the Cinderella one with Lily James. Anyway, um, Lucy Punch is like, well, she's allowed to like ask, like, and that's when it sinks in a little bit. It's like this. There's never been a time that they've never cleared the air on this, and if we're dying tonight, she at least wants to just like ask and like see what the deal is. She can at least ask at the last moment.
You're never gonna have another opportunity to ask these questions. So it's like you have this like final opportunity to ask the questions that you've always wanted, but like what else are you breaking in those final moments by asking that question in front of your husband and stuff? It's so interesting because it's like, oh, am I ruining the rest of our marriage? Well, the rest of our marriage is 10 minutes long.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
but then like still do you want to have like a you want to feel like shit for the next 10 minutes? It's super interesting.
You're gonna
but
go
like,
lie down in your husband's bed with him later. Like, how's that gonna go if you're revealing that you've wanted to fuck James this whole time? But yeah, I mean, the end of the world, first of all, really puts things in perspective for everybody. But it really is, the dynamics of this group is so interesting, the way that that scene plays out, where it's everybody but Alex was together for this time. Everyone was there and are all kind of like witness to it a little bit. And it's this like really heartbreaking conversation where she's like, how come this didn't happen? And it's like, well, this terrible thing happened to you at the hands of a teacher, who I can look back on now as an adult and go, that was wrong. That was disgusting. That was not your fault. That was his fault. But as a teenager in this situation, I didn't have the perspective on that yet. And I felt like betrayed and wronged, and like you chose someone else over me. And it hurt my feelings. And I like shut the door on that. And then it's
yeah,
like
that was whoa, talk about complicated. Every inch of this thing is so nuanced with like
because then the husband
personal
is also
strife.
like, Tony's like, I've never heard this story. I didn't even know this happened. I don't know what's going on. And I'm like piecing together from the context clues of this conversation that everybody else seems aware of, and the Scrabble board where Alex is spelling
drunk
out
ass
Play-Doh.
Alex.
Drunk ass Alice, who is sober usually, but it's the end of the world, so what does it matter if you fall off the wagon? Except we find out later it very much did matter that she fell off the wagon.
Yeah. Oh, I totally missed that. So she's usually sober and she just got wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
They say in the beginning when they're driving over something about having to do this sober, so annoying, and Alex is kind of like, maybe she said something like, I've had to put up with your friends sober a lot of the time. So I guess it could just be that also, Bella's anyway.
Well, at the beginning, she also like asks, she's like,
do you have, like, she wants
sparkling water or something like that, and they're like, no, all we have is Fanta.
I think they're both sober. Because at first when she comes in with the bottle of Prosecco, she says, I'm just keeping it company, or it's just keeping me company, or something like that. And then she goes, oh my God, I'm so thirsty. So,
yeah, that makes a lot more sense. I totally missed that.
It just, but as you see, it has complications. It just is it's such a well-written conversation as they're all like jumping in and having these moments of connection and having these moments of fallout and like reaching over, clearing the air on so many things. Like, why
and
not
then
clear the air on the very
racist.
last night? But yes, but also
you
were
like Mowgli from the Jungle Book. Girl, oh my God. I was like, please shut up. Oh,
and then Jesus. It's like, is he African? No, he's from India. Didn't he have an American accent? Blah, blah, blah. And he's just like, and then Alex is over there also like, well, yeah, that was very posh of them. That was very posh.
Very posh.
British kids. But I was also talking about where Tony is getting upset at James, and it's like, why didn't you stand by? Why didn't you protect her? And it's like, you've never made a mistake, Tony. There's never anything that you did.
You've done.
And
Right.
She
she's
throws
very
herself under the bus.
She's like, whatever, so long ago, no sweat off my back. You're welcome, by the way. Got you guys together. I thought she was kind of iconic for that scene. And as she said,
so funny.
heroic.
Yeah, it was sacrificial, actually. And she'd already told them before, let's not forget.
I'm pretty sure I told you. In the same way, I'm pretty sure I told you to call Lizzie. Why would I call Lizzie? I don't even like Lizzie, but I don't want her to be alone.
So fucking funny. I think one of the most interesting things about this movie too is an unfortunate coinkydink with how when the movie was created and when it was released.
Yeah,
this
true.
movie was written and started production before El Señor pandemic, before COVID hit the world, which is crazy. And so they started it then, and then they had to finish it, I think, at the end of 2020 when they got some of the protocols in place, and then it came out in 2021. So like, it's still the fucking pandemic in 2021.
Yeah.
You know,
it was like they wrapped filming right before everything started to get shut down, and then they had to do some reshoots that they picked up in like September 2020.
And it's so funny because it is so timely, but it changes sort of what maybe the thesis statement is for the movie, like the director's intent. And then with this new context, it kind of a little bit turns into like an anti-vaxxer movie if you look down the barrel a little bit too long, because it's all about like the little kids being like, you shouldn't trust the government. They could be wrong and they could be lying to you. And like, you shouldn't do this thing that the government is telling you to do. And then it comes out in 2021 when they're rolling out the vaccine. And like, it's like a little bit of an anti-vaxxer message by accident. It's not the same thing, but like.
But it's so interesting because now I'm watching this in 2026 under Trump's administration, and I'm like, if Trump's government told me to take the suicide pill, I don't know that I would take the suicide pill. I guess if all governments worldwide were all saying take the suicide pill, and I could see the time zones like shutting down as the cloud moves around the world, maybe. But I'm certainly not going, well, RFK Jr. said to take the suicide pill, so I guess we all have to take it, you guys.
I know. It's crazy.
And also, too, like, because Jojo Rabbit was just like, how do we know? Like, scientists could be wrong. He has that, like, really, like, sweet, is he, like, talking?
He's like, what if the smart scientists died and then the lazy scientists were the only ones who survived and they didn't input the info on the computer?
Right? And then he's like, and you know, if they're wrong, like who's going to be around for for them to apologize to, which honestly gutted me. But then they talked about how like they saw what was like, we don't see it, but you know, them being like, we saw what was happening to like the people in Africa and like all the other things. And then we do see that family in the car that like when Jojo Rabbit is like running away and he stumbles upon the family in the car with like the little baby and stuff like that.
Well, they took the pill.
I know, but like still.
Because they don't have blood on their face or any of that stuff. Like they didn't. I think they might have like seen the whirly. What are those called?
The tornadoes
coming. The whirlydos. You know the whirlydos.
You know the whirlydos.
You know the whirlydos.
I'm sorry. Coming into tornado season 2026, the whirlydos.
The whirlydos are on their way.
The whirlydos.
Well, also,
it's whirlydos season.
It's hard because there is some evidence, like you guys were just saying, that they've seen on the news, whatever. But then also in the actual movie. Where the presents are wrapped with the newspaper, and it says like, it was hard for me to read.
I took a screenshot.
Oh yeah, okay, read it.
Because I was trying to see the date. One of them says toxic eruption devastates wildlife. One of them said like Borough of Queens death toll passes 2 million. Something. Yeah. New York governor declares state of emergency.
Yeah. So like it is happening. Like there are people dying from this thing, you know. And it's just it's so that's why it's so hard to like there doesn't seem to be like a right answer
Yeah.
in
Oh,
any of this.
because there's that one detail. It's so small, but they mention at some point when Alex, Kirby Howell Baptiste's character, when she's like, "Do you have any sparkling water?" They're like, "There's literally no water left at the market. There's only Fanta." We see her use the tap at one point, and it's like
black.
brown
Oh my
water.
God.
Like it is disgusting. And so
And
you
she like
kind of
smells
get the
it and you can tell it
sense
smells bad.
it's this very like subtle world building where you can kind of make conclusions and surmise, especially based on those newspaper headlines and stuff, that like shit has been going on for a while. The toxic poisonous gas cloud is maybe just like the climactic event.
Yeah.
Where even the wealthiest people can no longer like isolate themselves from the fallout of this and the effects of this on society. Like nobody can, unless you're the queen and you've got a bunker, maybe. But no one else can really, they don't have the money to just like buy the water and turn a blind eye to the fact that all of the natural water at this point is poison and blah blah blah. Like it's just
It's not
they've reached the end of the
sustainable.
line.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and the whole ugh, I don't know, cuz then it's like I don't know what the movie's trying to say with the ending, which we'll get to. Like, and that's a very contentious ending, but we'll get to that too. Like, I that like muddies the water even more. But like, I think if you're really being a conspiracy theorist about it, which like might as well said to the world, like, oh, are they culling the herd by having everyone do the exit pill so then there'll be less desire for the resources that do still exist? Like, there's a lot of reasons to doubt it, and
Well,
but oh yeah, you go.
I saw somebody making a point that like they weren't giving it to homeless people or illegals.
Mm-hmm.
And then they were like, all of these people have to, I think, pay like a lot of money for these pills or something like that, maybe.
I
Or
think they just
like,
had to be like registered citizens. Kind of
Yeah,
like the way the government
that's
in
what
the
that's
US like
what's
sent out COVID tests
yeah.
for
that's
you
what
to
But
like 2
James
free COVID
said.
tests.
It was James saying that.
They
James was
don't
like,
legally exist was
yeah.
yeah.
about the
Oh no, it was
homeless
Simon. It was
people.
Simon. Sorry.
But then they were like, you can look at it as like, okay, like if the wealthy have access to this and they kill their entire family, all of their money will go to the government.
Hmm.
So like
Mm,
it could be a way to like gain wealth and like get rid of like a decent number of your population.
there's that, and then there's also like, okay, and then they're not giving the pill to all of the like non-registered, like non-citizens and homeless folks, and so then like, oh, there's hope at the end. Maybe all of those people are the last to survive society, and then they rise up and take over the world, which doesn't sound too terrible either. So there's a lot of ways to look at a hopeful ending with the ending that we do get, but we're not there yet. Um, but yeah, it's just it gives you like a healthy like art gives you this healthy doubt of the government because like what this movie's main thing that it's trying to say, take it out of the context of COVID that it unfortunately came out in, which muddies the waters, is like the government is responsible for and the adults are responsible for the treatment of the environment and the world and how it's being trashed to fucking hell, and we should have listened to Greta as they
Uh-huh.
say in this movie.
Right.
um like the earth is dying and this is its last revolt. And isn't it so funny that this movie is often brought up in the same breath as The Happening? I was like, what is a perfect double feature? Silent Night and The Happening. That's a real. It's like a bona fide way to piss Leo off. We should have done it.
Well, now we know what movie to do for his birthday.
Oh my god, perfect.
Cute.
Aw. But yeah, it's so like the heart of the movie is obviously Jojo Rabbit himself, Art. Like he's such an incredible little actor. And I wonder what he's up to now. But like he's got so much fucking righteous anger in this because he's like has no agency. He is a child.
Mm-hmm.
The decision to end his life is being made for him by his parents, and they're like trying to candy coat it, sugar coat it, give him 20 toys that he'll never be able to play with. I thought that line was really
The
good.
batteries will last longer than we will.
Yeah, I thought that was an
Yeah.
amazing line. Like but he's like so mad. He's like, you guys did this. Your generation did this. I have not been able to make a choice in my life or vote once because I'm 10. Like, so this is on you. And then I'm the one who has to die for it. Fuck you. So like that righteous anger. But then like James coming in, another one of the most sobering parts of the movie was the conversation between James and Art because James is a doctor. And he's like, look, like, I know it sounds crazy, but like, this death this won't hurt you. And he's like, it's going to kill me. What do you mean? And he's like, it won't hurt you though. Like, you don't understand pain. And like, a child can't understand the agony that like they're all trying to avoid, even if it is the suffering, even if it is only temporary and then you do die right after, then your final moments will be hellish. And so it's this whole thing where they're like trying to protect him from the pain. And then it's just so ironic, like not a good enough word, that like he still experiences that. And like they're not actually protecting him from it. Like they don't succeed after all of this. It's just
It's also such interesting context to me that James is an oncology doctor specifically. He deals with cancer patients, where that is so often like a big part of the equation when you're looking at like treatment and what do you do, and some people are done doing treatment even though there are more treatments that they could do because the quality of life that they might have is just it's not worthwhile to them. Like he is specifically dealing with pain a lot of the time and suffering a lot of the time and dealing with the conversation of like when is suffering worth it and when is it not worth it and what variables do you take into account when you're calculating that risk?
No, totally. Ugh, it's heavy. It's so heavy.
And it's like a hard decision too.
Yeah. It's so funny though, the way that the parents talk to the kids about it, because it's like they're trying to be so like mature and make this as painless as possible, both physically and also emotionally.
Yeah, I know.
And they're trying to give them like this lovely, perfect, wonderful night before they go. You can curse, you can sorry, only everybody gets only one potato, but like other than that, you're getting all these toys, blah blah blah. But then they also, after the shit hits the fan at the dinner table, when Sandra and Nell pull them aside, they're like, everyone's life matters. We just want to make sure that you understand that as your parents, we are not to blame. This is not our choice and this is not our fault. They're like, don't be mad at me right before you go. Like, yes, we could have done more and should have done more about the climate and fucking conservatives or whatever they say later when it's
we
just
should
the
have voted
adults.
for the Green Party.
Should have voted. Yeah. We all should have voted for the Green Party.
If we would have voted for Al Gore when I was 10 years old, none of this would have happened.
But they're like, but don't be mad at us. Remember, it's not our fault. We are the adults in this world, and you are a child who never was able to meaningfully even be involved in this conversation or preventing anything.
Yeah.
But we don't want to bear any responsibility for that either.
I think also I know we've sort of gotten away from this exact part of the conversation, but oh my god. Okay, sorry. Trigger warning for this whole episode, by the way. Retroactive trigger warning for the whole episode. I meant to say that at the beginning, but like this part in particular, it's this movie just gets so heavy so quickly, like especially with the conversation with James that we were just talking about pain and agony, and what you were just saying about oncology, and how like the treatment can be painful and people decide they don't want to go through with it anymore. It's like looking the death with dignity stuff like straight in the face. It's like this movie is like advocating for it in a way, even though it's again no, there's no really clear paths towards what they're trying to say here, because the context of when it was released really gets things confusing. But like giving people the option to opt out of pain, like the government, the entire country of like Great Britain is being like, hey, yeah, no, like you can have this out and not have to experience suffering. So I think that's a really interesting aspect of this movie too. And also I googled death with dignity to make sure that's what it was called, and it was like, do you need help? Here is the suicide hotline immediately. So that was a little intense, but like it's crazy. This is like I would feel bad for anyone watching this movie not knowing what it is going in, because it is like incredibly
Sure.
triggering in that way. It's just an incredibly heavy topic. It's just I just can't imagine like knowing that it was going to happen, just like having the like knowing that it's gonna have to happen that night, and like knowing that you're gonna like make the choice for yourself, like in this context where it makes sense. I'm using scare quotes, like there's ways to argue that it makes sense, but like at the end of the day they still have to face that they're actually doing it, and I think they do a good job of that in the movie too. Like they're having a great time, they're having some hard points throughout the night, but then they get like towards the tail end there and they're like, fuck, is this actually happening? Are we actually doing
Are we all
this?
gonna die?
Are we all gonna die? Like, and those final goodbyes with like the men when they're like, go be with your family, like you.
And they're like holding hands, their little hand holding chain as they walk through the house.
It's just so interesting because it's like it runs the gambit of every emotion that night, as it should. Like when they're dancing to like I'm gonna live forever, like and trying to just be they're shooting out fireworks and looking at the wonder of that and how beautiful, but it's like, it's only buying time until that moment. They're still gonna have to face that moment.
That
It's
scene in the
crazy.
car is so good too. When Matthew Good and Keira Knightley pull Jojo Rabbit aside to have like this serious
Yeah.
conversation with him, and he's like, God says thou shalt not kill," and the dad's like, "Fuck God," and he's like, "Gotcha, bitch." Keira Knightley's like, "He just tricked you, like he just got you," and he's like, "Oh, I know," but it's like the emotions are so real in that scene where there's this child who, as it turns out, maybe is right. We don't know if everyone would have survived or if like he's a fluke. Again, we'll get there. But he doesn't understand the weight of what's going on and the real consequences in play here. And he says like, Sophie's not going to take the pill, so like I'm going to hold her hand and I'll watch her, I'll bear witness with her as she dies. Like it doesn't occur to him that he would
Like,
also
what's
in
gonna happen to
theory die from the
you?
poison gas. Yeah, he's like, I as long as I don't take the suicide pill, I won't die.
Because
Even
it's
though I
different
recognize
than,
that she won't, she's not taking it, but she's gonna die. But I'm not, I can't like comprehend my own mortality.
and also like, how do you get there to be like, I'm gonna make an active choice that will result in the end of my life? Like that is a different thing than something happening to you. So like that's crazy that these children, like they, the littler boys, they don't really know. They're just doing what mommy and daddy said. But like Art is old
And
enough
they're also
to
like, this
be
pill
like,
is so big. I don't want to do
yeah,
this until they see the fallout. And then they're like,
yeah.
And then they're like,
It's
"Ugh, my soda's warm."
yeah,
That was like
again,
the
they're not
fucking
understanding the
funniest.
That
gravity
was
of the
so funny.
moment. It's,
You're
oh
like,
my
"I
God,
thought
it's,
you said we could each have our own soda." Ugh,
Dad,
That
I'm
mine's
was
not
warm.
sharing. Yeah.
That
I
I'm
was
a
so
twin and I've
funny.
had to share everything my whole life. And on my final night, I'm not sharing a warm Coca Cola.
I
which
was
again,
dying because in that Reddit
run
thread
back
that
and
the
forth.
girl was like, it ruined my Christmas with my child. This other guy was like, that part at the end with the Coca-Colas, like, was way too close for home as a father. Like, it was unbelievable how much
Yeah.
it's like that. Where it's like,
Mhm.
this is not what the situation is about. These are our final moments, and I'm getting have to go up
Mhm.
and down the stairs 20 times, but it's so funny. It's like
I'm losing my mind,
pinnacle
but
of a
also
comedy here.
I'm not closing the door on me being mad at you or on yelling at you or not doing everything I can to give you what the simple thing that you're asking for in this last moment, even though it is driving me bonkers, batshit insane.
Cuckoo banana clubs. Fuck.
But this, like
Crazy.
when Jojo Rabbit runs away and then he finds the car with the family and he like finally is faced with
What death looks like.
what death looks like. And it's like, I mean, obviously, that is exactly the thing that he's been fearing this whole time, is that he doesn't want to do that. And that kind of like reinforces. Um, but just the like agony, the horror in that screen, like it's shocking. It's like hard to digest. I thought it was so well done.
Oh my god. I was just like bracing myself, like like so locked in on this. I just think the interpersonal drama is well done and just it's gutting. It's so gutting and to see him scream like that. He's got such a cherubic little fucking face and just to see it twisted in horror that way. And I think they do like not a perfect job of misdirection here. Like, I can't tell you for sure because I already knew it was going to happen because I'd seen it before and I don't remember what I thought the first time I saw it. But like he's screaming because he's seeing this horrible thing, and then you realize those little tornadoes are sneaking up behind him. But you're like, does he narrowly avoid them? Like, he's not immediately frothing at the fucking mouth, you know? So, like, you don't know right away that he's inhaled the gas. But you think, oh, maybe it's just a close call. But I think, again, like, just horror after horror. The fact that, like, all these people the whole day, or not all of them, but like, at least Sophie, Lily Rose Depp's character, has been like trying to help him the whole day in her own way. Like you can say, well, you can go be on either side of saying if she was right or not to confront a child with that shit. I'm not a parent. I don't know. I'm not ready. You guys can talk about that in a second and then I'll see if I have an opinion. But like, she was trying to help him this whole time. And then, like, in the actual last seconds of his life, because like as you're watching it, like you're thinking he's dying right now because he's like literally like
Starts like convulse.
contorting,
Convulsing
convulsing,
and
doing all the things that we saw on the website would happen to him. He's alone. And the
Yeah.
whole thing, the whole day, the whole point of this, all of this was for them to all die together and safe and be without pain. And then it's backfired completely. The one who was the most scared, the most terrified of dying that way, like dies alone without anyone knowing. It's horrific. It's horrific. Ah! And the writer
Yeah.
director of this movie, that's her son. And she said, I think my son
would do excellent at this
should act
part.
this out. I mean, she was
Well,
right. He
it's
did do an excellent job.
interesting. I read an interview with her, and she said part of this film came about because of her son's experience filming Jojo Rabbit, the movie, not him as a person, Jojo Rabbit. But she saw him on that set, and both seeing that movie and the comedic aspects of it, giving her like the inspiration to be like, okay, you can deal with really sensitive, serious, heart wrenching, bleak subjects as long as there's also some comedy there to make it survivable, kind of take the edge off a little, if you will, or at least give you like an entry point
Yeah.
to the film, to the story. She said, like, watching him deal with some of the really fucked up stuff on that movie that he as a child actor is being exposed to. She said he had a great experience. They loved the film. She doesn't really want her kids to be child actors, but her son really wanted to be an actor and had wanted to be an actor for years before he booked the role on Jojo Rabbit. She's like she was like, I know my kids can handle it because both A, I know my kids, B, I'm there on the movie. C, they're my kids and they give me shit literally all the time and it's so annoying, but it means that I know that they can like push back on things if they're uncomfortable here or if they think it's stupid or if they don't think a kid would say that or whatever. But also I've been like talking about this story around the dinner table with them for years as I'm like working on it. And so like I know that they can handle whatever visuals I'm giving them to deal with and they have the support for that as opposed to like a child actor seeing something horrifying. They have families. I don't know. It was an interesting interview where she was like kind of talking about this and like parsing it a little bit. But yeah, I mean,
The family affair.
it is a family affair. It's a family affair also because the girl who plays Kitty um, is Davita McKenzie, the younger sister of Thomasin McKenzie, who was the Jewish girl in Jojo Rabbit.
Oh yeah.
So they must have gotten to know her there on that set as well. So
Crazy. Oh my God, what a movie. I mean, it's really heavy. Sorry to make you do this at the beginning of the
Right
year.
at that job.
But we're at war, so
Okay.
so get
look,
ready.
end of the world, right around the corner.
We're
You're
just-
gonna need to
we're-
do your
we're
homework
preparing
beforehand.
We're just
We're
preparing
letting
you.
everybody dip a toe into apocalypse. It's fine.
Yeah,
Spooky
no, this
Tuesday,
was-
always on the beat.
Yeah, for like personal reasons, this was a really hard watch this week, but it made me like lock in like even more. Because I was
Mhm.
just like, these are questions that are coming up more and more. Not this exact scenario, don't worry. The cloud is not imminent. But like, you know, mortality, all that shit, like thinking locking in about health and like our health, the health of the earth, all of that, like it's more relevant than ever. And yeah, it's something that I never want to think about literally ever for 1 second. That's why I have existential crises all the time because it just pops up in the back of my head. But like, you know, it's a healthy thing to like think about that aspect of life. And so I don't know. I think this movie, if anything, if you think it's boring, you know who you are. I don't understand. But I
You're
think it
wrong.
really it's forces rumination of the watcher, whether or
Yeah.
not like it or not. And it's scary, but sometimes you have to think about these hard truths.
Yeah. I mean, to me, it's so interesting. I'm like so much less interested in plot and setting a lot of the time than I am like a character's emotional journey or arc. So even if this movie was just that scene where the adults are like parsing through their past and the final things that they want to know and clearing the air before they never have the chance to, that's like what I'm sat for. But there's a lot of really interesting conversations just in general going on. Like, yeah, I mean, it again, the anti-vaxxing point, but it's like, do you trust the government implicitly? Even in this movie, they say no, they killed Diana. I don't
Which was
I
so
don't trust the
funny.
government. Yeah. No, they killed Diana. Of course I don't trust them, but also if everyone in the world or at least everyone in our country or at least the majority of people in our country are taking the suicide pill, do I want to be the one person that's left in the post-apocalyptic state? Like she said, it's like,
They
look
asked
at my
the same
look
question
at
we
Alex.
asked.
Right?
Is she look like she's gonna be running from the zombies? I don't think so.
They're like, not very
I've
fast.
seen the road, and then Sandra's like, I haven't seen it. Do I need to see it before we go?
She's like, no. That part was so funny. I forgot about that part. Oh my God.
But yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, do you want to be the one person left behind? Maybe.
Are you prepared to survive?
Are you prepared? Even if the world isn't a climate hellscape after this, and there's no reason to think that it wouldn't be, but even if after the poison gas cloud clears, if everything is wonderful again, you're alone. Nobody's making new gasoline to drive cars. Nobody is making and canning food. Like, do you know how to build shelter? I mean, I guess there's plenty of
Life
shelter,
won't
but
be
like,
like this.
yeah. Life
it will
is
never
not
be
gonna
like this
continue
again.
the way that Jojo Rabbit is not going to keep living the way that he's been. He does not understand, even if he survives, what might come next. He has no scope of reference for what that world and that life will be like. And yeah, we say that all the time. Zombie apocalypse, not for me.
I'm gonna try. I'm gonna hate it though.
I don't. If I'm a vampire, I'm fine. I'll fuck with the zombies. Fuck it, we ball.
In 2026, Sydney's a vampire.
Yeah.
A lot
Sydney's a vampire.
changed in the last month.
A lot
Sydney's a
changed.
vampire now.
You guys have
So
been
are
gone,
Monica
we've been
and Chelsea.
gone. She came back different.
Oh my god.
My
Okay.
time is ticking.
So I think we're right at the time to talk about the very, very end, and then we can get into our segments. Okay, that's fine. It wasn't time for it into anyway. But the very, very, very bitter end here, where they realize that Art Jojo Rabbit is dead. There's scare quotes, you can't see them. And they're just like, they go from having this like soft, somber moment as they're like preparing to do this life ending thing. And then they're like, fuck, 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 shit, 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 shit. I think that maybe they think that like he just like somehow the gas got him right then or something like that. Like the urgency makes me think that like they think it's gonna happen to them every second. But I guess they could still think that because he was just right outside.
Yeah,
the
he
house.
didn't go that far.
Yeah, so he didn't go that far, so it could be just around the corner and they don't want any of them to suffer. I think with these ending scenes with each group, I think it's so sweet and horrific when each of them realizes like, oh my god, I didn't have like that perfect goodbye. Even with this night of goodbyes, I didn't have that perfect goodbye with a certain person, and they like pop up being like, no, I didn't say goodbye to Nell. No, I didn't say goodbye to Sandra. Like, I thought those were so, so sweet.
Kitty was missing her doll that she
That
got.
shit.
All Sandra wanted was for Kitty to hold her.
I know.
I know, and then she did, but she was already dead. That shit was so fucked up.
Oh,
Yeah.
I know.
And she couldn't say she loved you to her dad anymore, so she had to pull the string on the doll, and the doll said it for her.
Devastating.
That
That
scene,
was
I
crazy.
think, was like the saddest.
Yeah,
To
no.
me, actually.
You didn't think you were gonna get tear jerked by Kitty, did you?
No, seriously, because she is such a cunt, but not in that moment. And then I think that unfortunately, okay, let's dive into this a little bit. What did you guys think about the James and Lily Rose Depp part, James and Sophie part?
I didn't.
I thought it was like
really
a little
manipulative. That's what I was saying. Like, I didn't really like that he was kind of like,
you're gonna cause me pain if you don't,
and
do
I'm
it.
not doing it if you don't
can't
do
make your own
like,
choice. There are gonna be which I guess like there are implications already, but yeah, I mean it is messy. I do think if she had maintained that she wasn't taking the pill, he would have also just not taken the pill. So I think it is manipulative, but also a legitimate,
like, he also doesn't want her to suffer alone. Also, if he had said it like,
he presented it like, I'm making you take it, but if there had been a little more yeah, I agree.
Nuance in the way he said it, be like, okay, like you've
We'll
decided you're not gonna take it, then I'm not gonna take it. Not like, you don't want us and our baby to suffer. Like, she literally says that, which I didn't love.
Yeah.
But then unfortunately, it was like very Romeo and Juliet romantic when they put the pill in each other's mouth, and I was like,
and then we see their dead bodies holding each other.
If you're gonna go out, that's the only way I want to do it, like that. Like, if I'm in this exact scenario, that was a nice touch. What'd you guys think about Alex and What the fuck?
Bella.
Bella, Alex and Bella. That shit was so
Oh my
messy. One,
God.
it was just so tragic when you just said Bella. What was her name?
Bella, yeah.
Okay, when Bella was like, I've already lost the plot. I just can't find. I have so many tabs open. I can't find
she's
IMDb.
like passed out drunk, she's like begging her to wake up
To
so
wake
that she can
up?
take the pill. She forces the pill down her throat and is like, "Okay, we'll just get on the bed with her. I can't fit next to her without one of us falling off, so we'll just go head to toe. I'm
It's just
laying down to die.
so
Oh no,
messy
she's
and
waking up to
horrible.
vomit. She's
Yeah.
throwing up her pill."
Oh my god, that was just
The roller
so
coaster
sad and
ride.
such a roller coaster. And then they play the fucking horrible song again. Michael Bublé has so many good Christmas songs, and I hate that one so much, but that's the point. And them doing their little dance, and then like, girl,
We've
you
got
didn't
5 minutes, and it's like, no, girl, you're past. But Alex doesn't know she slept through it all. She went upstairs. She conked out. She missed the party.
Yeah.
She
How is
has
she supposed to
no
know?
idea, and I just don't know if I agree with stabbing her.
That's one
I
way
don't
to do
know if I agree with stabbing her.
Yeah.
Because that's like maybe as painful as what else is gonna happen. It's pretty painful. There's a lot of muscle in there. I don't know. Didn't love that. Didn't think it was the
Yeah.
best part, but
I certainly can understand how you arrive there in a panic.
yeah.
This was not her plan. Um, I don't know what other pain-free ways you can come up with on the spot in the moment. Um, Maybe she really thought dying from one stab wound that you don't see coming, so it doesn't hurt and as you're anticipating it kind of hurt.
Yeah, it would be better than like her like Bella
Waiting
dying
for
right
the
then.
cloud to roll in,
And everybody
or...
else is dead and she's all alone. But like, you don't know how fast she's gonna bleed out, so that might be the same thing either way.
It's like cut to Jojo Rabbit, his little eyes popping up, and then you hear Alex downstairs being like, "Hello."
Yeah.
Right. Help me.
So that's the other thing with the ending. I was like trying to understand like why he didn't die. Not that we need to know. It's not about that necessarily, but I'm gonna talk about it for 5 seconds and then we can move on.
Sure. No, take your time.
But like we know that the gas is real and that it does kill things because we saw the proof of it or whatever. You can get real conspiracy and be like the newspaper's fake and all of it's fake news and blah blah blah. So maybe. But like millions of people died in Queens. And all the animals died. Something is happening in Africa. Like people are dying from this. So why didn't Jojo Rabbit die? And it could be like he had a light exposure to it, and so then he would like had some of it in him, so when the actual thing happened he wasn't like respirating in the same way, and so it didn't kill him like it would have. Like I don't know exactly how it makes sense, or the cloud didn't actually come through and like he has one more day. Like I don't know. I don't really understand.
Well, and also too,
how.
some people can just be like immune to things. Like
Yeah,
they
like
talk
in
about
polar bears.
how people who have like celiac disease now, their ancestors were probably immune to the bubonic plague.
Interesting.
That's cool.
Yeah. Isn't that weird?
That's so weird.
But yeah,
That's
I
so
mean,
random.
there's all sorts of stuff like that where it's like some people are extremely healthy. It's like with COVID. Some people were extremely healthy, but they get COVID, and for whatever reason, their system just couldn't handle it. Other people get COVID, and it's like a mild cold, and it was no big deal for them. And just everybody's system is different. I think there's a lot of different explanations we could speculate about. I think it's very possible that there could be like wide swaths of the population that did not die from this, but because the cloud is so like all encompassing, it would not necessarily be easy for let's say for the sake of argument, the cloud started in Australia and just worked its way around the world or whatever. You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
like you're in Hawaii, you'd be the last people to get hit by the cloud. But even if there are survivors in Australia, are those people going to have like meaningful access to the systems that would allow that to communicate that to the rest of the world if there's no one maintaining infrastructure? Like if you don't work at the news station, can you get on the news to broadcast this? If no one is like, I don't know how these things work. So I don't know, maybe the internet is not still up. Maybe you can't just like go on your phone and go live on Instagram or whatever and be like, guys, it's
I'm
crazy, I'm
alive.
still alive. We also don't really get like the best scope of time. So it's like if Jojo Rabbit appeared to, I keep calling him Jojo Siwa almost. If Jojo Rabbit
No.
like fake dies, has the blood, blah blah blah. Maybe he is lying there for 8 hours until he wakes up, and so it's like they were live streaming in Australia and we saw everyone die, and for 5 more hours we saw them not get up, and then we've seen enough, and they moved on a few more hours. A couple people would have like been up and walking around. You know what I mean? It's one of those things where there's
It's
so much,
impossible.
yeah, information that is not because the scope of the film is so contained, which again I also like. And it's
Yeah,
so
I don't
interesting the
want it
way
to
that they
get
do that too, as part of like the commentary on these like rich people and their posh and their um ability as rich people to be insulated from so much of it. They're not in the city with everyone else having to see people out on the street and in the apartment next to them and blah 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 blah. They can go to their summer house out in the countryside where no one else is around and they don't have to see
be
anybody.
confronted with everyone else's way of
Mhm.
handling this situation.
They're not seeing people driving away, crashing in the fury to outdrive the cloud or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think I don't know. Something that was interesting to me was this quote that I read from Keira Knightley herself
Well,
about the ending. And here, I'll just read it. She said, "We shot it both ways, the ending. One where he died and one where he wakes up. And I was strongly for the fact that he had to wake up because there had to be hope. You grow up and you learn fear, you learn how difficult things are, and so basically and so you basically become obsolete. In your fear, you wall yourself up and then just become afraid. Of course, you're going to take the pill because you're never going to believe that there's anything beyond that. You'll believe that we're all done for. The whole idea is that with youth, because of their naivete, that is their power. They still have hope. And if there's hope, there can be change." And I get where she's coming from, but I don't feel that the feeling that I don't feel that the feeling that I felt um, when he opened up his eyes was hope. That didn't feel like hope to me. That felt like dread on a whole new level because now this little boy is alone and he's in a house filled with everyone who's ever loved and they're all dead and it's just
Mm-hmm.
mhm.
him and the whole world is completely different now and at least several million,
Right.
probably like a billion British people are dead for sure because the
Yeah.
British
Right. Like,
government is what gave out this pill. So I did
who
not
do you
feel hope.
call when that happens? Like, where do
Does the
you
phone work?
go? Like, does the phone
Yeah.
work? Like, is there somebody to answer it on the other end? Like,
Maybe he
Yeah,
can 28 years later style walk into the city on his own and find a
the
network
survivors.
of undocumented migrants who are restarting society and know how to start over from the beginning with very little, and he's going to have a newfound family in the
Yeah,
future and they're going to make a better world, blah blah. But again, they're
but
still in the
that
middle of climate crisis.
we have
So
1 second. We see this for 1 second. So like, I don't know if the hope was hope and with doing that ending, I don't
living
know
for the
if it
hope of
was
it all.
effective in that way. Um, I think it's provocative and it gets the people
Going.
talking, gets the people going. And so I liked it for that reason, but I understand why our Discord didn't like it because they thought it was annoying or whatever. I can see
I thought it was
that
boring.
too.
I don't think this is a
I
boring
don't think it's
movie.
a boring movie.
Smash the disagree button.
Yeah, I was like, I don't have time to fight you right now, but I'm gonna call you out on our episode live. Rawr! No, it's okay. You're entitled to your opinions. It's not my fault they're wrong. I'm sorry. I'm kidding. But anyway,
Got you guys again.
I don't
Just kidding
agree.
again.
I don't agree. Just kidding again. That your opinion is wrong.
JK.
No, I do still love you despite this horrible thing that we disagree on. But yeah, it is like it's not a perfect ending, but it's not a perfect ending. Like that's the point. It's like this is a fucking goddamn mess. It's a fucking goddamn mess, and what's gonna happen next, we never find out, and you're just left feeling like shit at the end. And I like that about it. Personally, I love when I watch a movie where I was like,
And just
fuck.
feel
Where I was like,
garbage.
Yeah.
oh.
Yeah, because
Ooh.
Keira Knightley says that when the parents are in the car with Jojo Rabbit and they're talking about it, she says like we've thought about all of the options and what we do, and every time we game it out, it comes to the same conclusion, which is also funny. Like, oh, sorry, your thought experiment comes to the same conclusion every time. That's not really evidence of anything. But she says, we will all die one by one, and you will be left crying with no one to comfort you. And I can't do that. I can't let my baby suffer alone. And that's exactly what happens. Like, even though he survives, he's alone. He's by himself.
Everything they
What does
planned
that mean from
for.
him? How far does this survival go without his family or adults around? Like, presumably there's not, many wild animals necessarily left to take him out, but there's also not clean water to drink.
It's like the best laid plans, like everything that they planned this whole day for. The opposite is what happens for this one son of theirs. It's just a parent's nightmare. You're trying to kill your child and they somehow survive. It's horrible. It's crazy. It's a really intense movie, and I get it if you don't like it because it makes you feel poo bad sometimes, but also you go hee ha ha, but not at the end.
I went hee hee. Cried and I got hee hee ha ha.
Exactly. I didn't hee hee ha ha at the end though. At the end, I was like, oh, oh.
And Lucy Punch was there, and she was being butch, and she was wearing a suit, and she was doing a low voice.
Yeah, I read a whole article where this girl was like, she was doing this voice and I fucking hated it and I couldn't stand her this whole movie. I really liked her voice, but I don't know what her other voice sounds too, but like.
Yeah, that's not what she sounds like.
I liked it.
It's kind of like Rosa Diaz in Brooklyn Nine-Nine when you hear her real voice for the first time and you're like, what?
Sometimes you got to do a butch voice.
And sometimes you got to do a butch ass voice. Okay.
And now sometimes you just got to do your. Sorry, I didn't do that perfectly. That was the cue for segmentos. That was sometimes you just got to do your
regular segments.
Your regular
How
segments.
Could this movie be gayer?
Wow. Now you don't even let me say it.
Cut her off. Nobody
Fuck
gets
you.
a chance to say it. We're jumping ahead.
Okay, how could this movie be gayer? It's already got gay things happening in it. And at least one of those three sons is growing up gay.
I think
well,
Matthew
it's gonna
Good,
be
the dad,
Art
Simon.
He's the only one alive.
That's true. It has to be him.
Okay, well, there's gayness innate inside them all.
I think Simon the dad is bisexual.
I think they should have had an orgy.
I think maybe they might have if the children weren't there, but also there's that scene in the beginning where when Alex and Bella are first arriving and they say something like, do you guys have sex a lot? And they're like, loads, all the time. And then both the moms, Sandra and Nella, are like, exhausting. Yeah, exactly. So I don't know that they would have been up for orgy.
Funny.
I think orgy might have been low on their list.
That's one of actually the other existential questions that comes up when you're faced with your own mortality. Do you spend your last night with your children? Or do you say, fuck those little bitches, leave them behind. I'm having an orgy with my childhood best friend group because we've always wanted to. That's the age-old question.
Joke in the beginning where they're like, they couldn't put Kitty down a little early.
That's what I'm
Something like
saying.
that.
You put the kids down early, put them to bed early.
We put him to bed last night. Tonight we go to our summer
then we
house. We're
orgy.
fucking.
Yeah.
And we're having a gay orgy. It's gonna be great. So that's how it could have
And
been gayer.
everybody's spouse better get on board.
Yeah.
I do think Sandra and Bella being our lesbian, Sandra's married to Tony. Sandra and Bella for sure used to practice kissing. Maybe also no, because I feel like she wouldn't want to be left out. But Sandra would want to practice kissing to be good at it, and Bella would be like, "I'm down."
Oh yeah.
Nell and Sandra are like such good friends that like they both sat up in their bed on their deathbed and were like, I didn't get to say
Mhm.
goodbye to each other. So what's that about?
I think that they
Don't they both almost
absolutely
left their
fucked
families?
in at least college. I think that they had one night together and they don't like to talk about it.
I also think it's possible that it's one of those things where it's like they did have one night together and they realized even if I have an attraction to women and even if I love this person so much, I don't want to fuck my best friend. That's just my best friend. But it did get confusing for me for a second there.
Mm-hmm.
I had to find
There's
out.
vibes.
Just like when Bella's like, I had to sleep with a man to know. It's like I had to sleep with my best friend to find out if I was in love with her. And it turns out I just love her.
Exactly.
But now I know.
I also get a little bit of a vibe from Tony. He's not all boring. He's a little gay. So
That's so interesting because I looked at all three men and I really was like, which one am I gonna speculate about? And I wasn't sure about Tony, but Simon, I was like, that feels like a bisexual man to me.
Simon,
Yes.
I could see it. James is straight, unfortunately.
James, I agree, straight.
Very straight. Would love to
Like-
see him kissing another man, but I'll see
like,
him kiss Lily Rose Depp instead. That's fine.
He's
with me.
so straight that when Simon tries to give him little smooch at End of the World, he like is like, "Whoa, we don't do that here.
it in
I
your
have a
pants."
wife." And he's
I
like,
don't
"Yeah, so
know,
do I."
even
And
last days.
Not, but I can't do that. Like it's
That.
one of those.
I think Sophie and all of her friends, they did have an orgy the night before. They sang Celine and they
Yes.
danced to Britney, like she said. And then because there were children at the
They got
table,
cut
she didn't
off.
mention the orgy.
I think
but
she
yeah.
would have. She was
Yeah.
really being out of pocket at that moment. Luckily, she was cut off, so she didn't scandalize them all.
But her group of friends, they definitely did orgy. And that was their strategy for sure.
Good for her. The American would. The European. Well, they're British. Different. If they're Europeans, it'd be
If
different.
they were
Anyway.
French, this would
If
be
they
an
were
orgy
French,
for sure.
Yeah.
it would be a different movie. Wouldn't be able to cover it on this podcast.
If they were our friend group, there'd be an orgy.
Ain't that the truth? Okay, that takes us to our next segment. Where would Matthew Lillard fit into this movie? It's not Lily Rose Depp. They need one American. It's Matthew Lillard. Remember when I said James was straight? JK.
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
I do think he would do a good job as Simon, Matthew
Yeah.
Good's character. I can see him in that role where he's just like especially the physical comedy in that final scene with running up and down for the Coca-Colas. But I think he would do a lot of really good work in that role. I'm sure he could do Tony, but he wouldn't have fun doing Tony.
No.
I would have liked to have seen him with the mom.
Keira Knightley.
Oh, with Grandma?
Oh,
Yeah, with grandma. Like,
This is like
when
Grandma's
it, like,
younger boyfriend, Matthew Lillard.
Yeah, when she's like, I've gotta go, and it
End of
pans
days,
to
I shot
her,
my shot,
and
And he's
Matthew Lillard's like
macking
drooling
hard.
sexily, and he's like, darling, it's
He's like, come
time.
take your pill, darling.
He's like Jeff
Yeah.
Goldbluming it on the
Exactly.
couch. Yeah.
Sydney had a vision,
Yeah.
okay? Sydney sees the vision.
I am
Yeah.
picking up what you're putting down.
Thank you.
I would never erase lesbians from a movie because that's my fave and that's my community. But I think he could play a Bella role well, where
Yeah.
he's like stepping in. We're bringing in him and
He could do the low
Ulrich,
voice.
and they're doing
Yeah.
they're being Bella and Alex. You know what I mean? If we're just like recasting the whole movie, that could be a fun place for them.
Okay. I love that. Those are great placements. Okay, dumb bitch. Poof. Who's the dumb bitch of this movie?
The government for killing Diana.
Exactly.
The
How
queen for
dare they kill
staying in a
Diana?
bunker for 100 years eating dog food when she should have died with her people.
Mhm.
The dog food is for the dogs, Monica.
Yeah.
No.
The
That's a funny
corgis.
joke. Yeah, I mean, I do think also the government and the scientists, because clearly it is survivable. Again, maybe it was one of those things where it's like, well, the government knows it's survivable, but they also know you're going to be living in a wasteland hellscape and you'll die of something horrible climate related eventually. So again, might as well do your suicide exit pill
Yeah.
now as opposed to dying from dysentery 4 days from now or whatever. But
The dumb bitch is all of us for not listening to Greta.
Exactly.
oh, hot take.
I think that's what it is.
She was seasick for weeks, and for what?
And for what?
She missed all that school. That's what Jojo Rabbit says.
Okay, that brings us to our knives out of fives. First knives of the fives out of the year. I said it a little wrong. Pretend I didn't.
Yes. So as you may have been able to tell, from our patrons, this movie had some up and down responses. But on IMDb, this movie has a 5.8 out of 10. On Rotten Tomatoes, it has 67% from critics, but 47% from audiences. And then it did do like a couple film festivals. It did win Best Screenplay at the Catalonian International Film Festival. And it was a nominee for the Best International Film at the Academy of Science Fiction, Fantasy, and Horror Films Awards. So it did a little up and down here and there. But honestly, I think this film, while the world was sort of starting to return to normal by summer of 2021, and this movie came out December of 2021, I do think it was one of those things that was kind of like lost in the shuffle. It came out in theaters,
limited
but really,
release.
yeah, extremely limited release, but also came out on AMC Plus at the same
Who has
time.
that?
But also, I don't remember hearing about it at all.
Yeah.
I remember when Monica and I saw it on a streaming service, we were like, whoa, that's a crazy cast. And it's like so weird that we've never heard about this. I did mention it to someone the other day when they were like, oh, what are you guys doing next? And they were like, oh, I think I remember hearing about that. So maybe some people did. I don't know. But I think it really just kind of slipped through the cracks. And because of the context of the world, had a complicated engagement, both with its release and its subject matter. So it's mixed reviews. But not for me. I like it. I think it's great.
You want to go first?
Yeah, I'm like, do I want to give it 5 knives? But like, I do really like it. I thought it was so interesting. I thought it was like so fun and funny. I laugh, I cry, I'm engaged with the questions that the text is asking. I really like the emotional stakes and drama at play and the way that it's handled. It's both like heartfelt, but also funny, but also serious. And they're like, I think, engaging with all of those subjects with an appropriate emotional investment. I think it's great. I really have fun, and I think it was like the way watching it with Monica. I don't remember exactly the experience because again, this was a couple of years ago now. But I remember the slow understanding of what was going on was like crazy, and
We were like, what the fuck?
yeah. And I swear I really do remember that it wasn't really Christmas, but I don't know. But I don't know. It's like I don't know how I feel about his eyes opening at the end. It feels kind of like they had to. That's the only thing I would maybe dock points on, but I think it's again one of those things where it's like even if I don't love it, it engages with the questions in an interesting way and it feels necessary for the film.
Mhm.
But I think it's so fun, and I don't know, I like it. I can't think of a reason not to give it 5 knives, so I'm giving it 5 knives. And
Hell
everybody
yeah.
who disagrees with me, that's your problem.
Suck it. I'm not. I'll go. I'll go last. Sydney, you go next.
Okay. I also like this. I don't think it's a 5, but I will give it a 4 out of 5. Like,
Okay.
I
4.
didn't know. Again, I don't like the title of the movie. I think I don't know what it
Sure.
would be called other that, but like,
A different title
Last
would help it
Christmas.
stand out more.
right?
No,
Like,
well, maybe
um,
we'll noodle on it.
right? But there's just this movie is bleak, but this movie is hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I don't know. I surprisingly really like this. I had no
I
idea
wasn't sure if you
what
would. I'm so
I
glad you do.
would like. And also, I do think it's kind of funny that Keira Knightley is in this like bleak Christmas movie, and then she was also in like, what is it, like Love Actually, the greatest Christmas movie of all time.
Mm-hmm.
I also think it's really funny that she's acting alongside Lily Rose Depp when she like had a lot of sexual chemistry with Johnny Depp.
Right? Like, there's
I was
layers.
I was like,
thinking,
was Lily Rose Depp even alive when some of those movies were coming out? I bet she was not yet
let's
alive when the
find
first one
out.
came out.
Or like
Oh,
just born.
Just barely, maybe. Yeah, I don't know.
she was born in 1999, so she was alive for all of
Oh, she was
them.
alive. Okay, I want to
Just
amend my
barely.
score. I want to amend my score. I'm going to give it a 4.8 because I love Kirby Howell Baptiste, and while she was great in this and very funny, she was underutilized.
She was totally
They need to
sidelined.
give her
Agreed.
way more
She was totally sidelined in this.
because
I
she's
totally
such a
agree.
star. She's such a star.
What else is she in? I know I recognize her.
She was in The Good Place. That's not what she's I mean she was like
Oh, well,
similar.
that's probably what
That's not
I
what
know
she's
her
from.
from.
For me, Baptiste. She was in Why Women Kill. She was in Cruella and Cruella 2. I didn't see those, so I don't know. I feel like she was in Killing Eve. She's in
Oh.
Barry. I don't
Oh.
remember what
Okay.
I saw her in that like made me like love her so much other than The Good Place, but it was something because I just like maybe I saw
She's
her do
great.
comedy or something. I don't know. She's just like so fantastic to me.
Well, yeah, I agree with that criticism. She was definitely sidelined. I think with this movie, like I said, I can understand why people wouldn't like it. It's a it's a hard one. I think it's a hard one. But I think that sometimes I love a movie because I love the movie, and sometimes I love the movie because I love what it brings up in my mind and what it forces me to engage in. And for this one, it's both actually. So it does it all. So I don't know. I think I don't know. It was a refreshing experience to feel so locked into a movie, especially one I had already seen before. I really think it asks some really hard questions, and it's a devastating watch, but it's also a movie that should never be remade by Americans. Let the British keep it. The Americans could never pull this off. It is so British. The humor is so British. It's amazing. It's so subtle and dark and dry and it's delicious. Amazing cast. But yeah, unfortunately, I have to dock a little bit of points because it kind of is an anti-vaxxer movie because of the context with which it was released. I don't think that is what it was intending to do, but I think it's just an unfortunate situation of timing, and they're not the same situation, but it's easy for people to make that argument, so it's just a little unfortunate. I do think it's also crazy that she like came up with this concept and like was executing it like right as COVID was happening. It's just crazy to me. Um and yeah, I think the ending I too feel a little unsure about it. So I think I'm also gonna give it like a 4.7. I'm gonna give it a 4.75. How about that?
Okay.
And but I love this movie. And I wasn't sure if it was going to hold up when I was like thinking about it again. I was like, oh, that's just pretty fucked up. No, it does for me. And I'll meet you on the streets if you have anything to say about it.
Monica
Who's
said,
introducing the next
"Cash
one?
me outside."
Cash me outside. How about that? Am I going to introduce the next one, or does Sydney want to?
I can do it.
Do it, girl.
Especially since I asked right before this. I'm like, what are we doing again? So
And
now
can you
I
ready?
know.
Now she's reminded now, you guys.
I'm locked in.
Watch out. She knows what's happening next, and she's going to tell you.
Yeah. We're gonna do a sequel from a movie that I don't think any of us really liked all that much, but
It's not about that.
it's literally
not about
about
that.
that. Who gives a shit if we liked it or not? Because it stars Matthew Lillard for his birthday episode.
Yeah. And also, like, does it
pushing
star?
it a little?
Does it star Matthew Lillard?
He
We
makes
don't
an
know.
appearance.
I haven't
That
seen
any
it.
movie
I
that
haven't
he's
seen
in,
it.
he is
That's
the
not
star
a
of.
spoiler for anything, but as you know, the first movie dealt with dreams and such.
Don't tell me anymore. I don't want to hear it. Shut
Oh my
up.
God.
I don't want to hear anymore. I want to go in blind. I've heard that Matthew Lillard's in it, and so it's his
That's all I'm
birthday
saying.
movie.
Yeah.
I'm saying, but that doesn't necessarily have implications for his character, is what I'm saying.
Dreams.
Remember in the first one? Josh Hutcherson.
Save it for the next episode.
I do not remember that. God, now I gotta watch. Not only do I have to watch, I've completely blacked out the
have to
first one. I
rewatch
gotta watch
it.
it again. We're doing Five Nights at Freddy's 2.
And
I've
it's
seen
important-
it.
It's important to support Josh Hutcherson in his renaissance that he's experiencing right now, on top of our continued renaissance that never ends for Matthew Lillard. By the way, we never said anything on the pod. Fuck you, Quentin Tarantino! Fuck you, dumb fucking bitch!
Fuck.
You're a
Dumb
fucking
Bitch
idiot!
for Life Award. Quentin
Also,
Tarantino. Catch us with merch that says "Dumb Bitch for Life." Quentin Tarantino.
yeah, oh my god, that'd be so
Not putting
good.
his name on our merch.
We can do it with
Asterisk.
asterisks.
Oh, yeah, that'd be so funny. I also
Censor it.
want to say that this is just a general watch yourself to everyone. And you could blame this on me, but you can't. Because why, for 72 hours after those statements were made, I didn't hear fucking shit from nobody that he talked shit about Matthew Lillard. Everyone was like, Paul Dano is so amazing. Paul Dano is so amazing. Why wasn't the entire world coming together saying, I love Matthew Lillard and I kiss him every day because I love him and he's the best man and he's fantastic? Why didn't the whole world come together? It took me 72 hours to find out that at the very end he was like, and I fucking hate Matthew Lillard
fuck Matthew Lillard too. Yeah.
Oh my god, I got
only heard
so
about
many
it after
texts
Matthew
from people
Lillard
being
was
like, "Did you hear that Quentin Tarantino is going after your boy?" And I was
why
like,
didn't anybody text me about it? Also, that's to
We
everybody.
talked
Why
about
didn't anybody
it.
text me
We
about
hung out with you that day that you found
I know.
out, and before that, Sydney and I were literally like, I wonder if she's heard about this yet.
I
Yeah.
texted
We were
you
gonna
guys
cancel you.
immediately the second
Yeah.
that I found out.
We
I
were
was
like,
sitting-
we're
And
gonna
we were like,
cancel
"Oh, I
her
guess
for
she did."
standing Quentin Tarantino's movies, and then you texted us about it first.
there's a lot to not stand about him, but I do really like Grindhouse.
"Yeah,
Anyway, he better watch himself and his little toes too.
yeah."
I'm so mad. Anyway, just had to go on the record and say that. Anyway, why won't you say it in a 5-star review? I love when you got so angry you turned purple, Monica. Right now, I was really interested.
I
and
love your
excited.
this podcast just has so much passion.
I love your passion.
Your
Somebody
jus de
recently
vie.
gave us a really nice review, and it said, "Thanks for making like, what was the words? Like film critique so accessible." Which I thought was really, really nice and like low key a burn at the same time because it was like,
Thanks
thanks
for
you
speaking
little
to the
dumb
common
bitches."
dummy.
That's what we're here for, babes. Just 3 beautiful idiots talking about
So
horror
Thank you
movies.
for
accessible for
making it
even the
so
stupidest bitch off the street to come on in and
And that
able
is
to
not us
engage
saying
with
that
media.
the person who wrote that is the stupidest bitch. We're the stupidest bitch. Don't worry. No, but actually, I thought that was like a really, really nice review, and it made me go little tear. I'm so excited to come back from hiatus because I only saw it yesterday, and they posted that in November. So anyway, we would love another review, and it could say anything, but it has to be 5 stars,
And it's got to be nice.
yeah.
Has to
But
be.
it
I
could be-
love
I'm
you.
not accepting
You're
criticism
so
at this
cute.
time.
I'd be a vampire with you forever.
Correct.
Correct.
Let me know
But-
if you would want me to turn you into a vampire and you can be a part of my gang with me, Monica, and Chelsea.
We're here against our will.
I'm
So
not
let's
Quentin
make it fun.
Tarantino.
Let's
Yeah.
don't
No, the
wait
first person we're going after is Quentin Tarantino. We're
Well,
turning
you
Matthew
have to
Lillard.
be really careful because sometimes if you don't finish the job,
Don't
then
worry,
you
we're-
come back as
Thorough.
vampire.
We'll practice
No,
first.
we're
Drain
gonna.
him dry.
Yeah.
Also, I know just now Sydney said don't say anything negative in our reviews, but you can say fuck you, Quentin Tarantino. That's okay.
That's a positive.
That's a
That's
positive.
positive
It's
for
negative
us.
for some, but we're not
Positive
Quentin
for
Tarantino.
us.
Positive for us. Anyway, also, why not follow us on social media? Chelsea's gonna be back at it, chopping it up. Get in there. It's
Yay,
beautiful.
yay.
Yay!
I can't wait.
I can't wait. It's at spooky_Tuesday on pretty much everything except for Facebook. Facebook and Tumblr, where we're at Spooky Tuesday Pod. Check out our website, spookytuesdaypod.com. If you haven't seen the listicles I made of all of our winter episodes and our Christmas episodes, if you're still feeling in the spirit, you can go watch Christmas episodes. But also, it's still winter, so if you're looking like if you need something right now and like one episode wasn't enough, girl, we have like 47 winter episodes. It's crazy.
We got you.
So
We've been
check-
around for a
check that shit
while.
out. And also we are on YouTube, and today we are looking very beautiful. Full stop. There you go.
Yeah.
That's it. We didn't do anything else. What do you want me to do? Dress up as Keira Knightley? That would be
Yeah.
an insult to Keira Knightley. I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna even touch that.
I did think about whether this sweater could be considered a Christmas jumper, and then I was like, no, that's not right.
I think it.
It's
I
just
think
a
it,
winter
it's
sweater.
wintry style, and I also wore this
Mhm.
because
It's
this is like a
festive.
wintry style thing too.
Yeah.
So
And mine is from a show that's also about like, do you want to be the last one standing?
yeah,
Is that what you want?
So there you go. And mine has
How's that
quotes on
gonna
it.
go?
I don't know.
So
I'm
yeah.
in my ACLU sweatshirt because fuck
Human
Trump.
rights,
Yep. Oh, also,
civil liberties.
speaking of YouTube, we have one away from 600, and like we have what we're one away from 600 subscribers.
Come
So,
on,
like,
somebody do it.
Get in, somebody get in there.
Nobody
Preferably
unfollow and
3.
then somebody subscribe.
I
Yeah.
think that maybe like if 3 more people, that would make me feel really safe about it. So we'd be right over the edge. Maybe we'll stay there. So try it. Also,
Something to think
we're on
about.
Patreon. We're on Patreon, and it fucking rocks. So much so that we've just had a recent slew of new patrons. It's crazy. I don't know what's going on. It's amazing. So welcome to our new patrons, and you could be one too. Join us. It's amazing. You're gonna have a great time. We threaten to fight our patrons on the street in an episode.
They like it, I
So-
think.
Yeah.
They like it, I
They
think.
like it.
There's
And
movie
we had a
nights.
good hee hee ha ha about it while we were all hanging out the other morning watching movies over Discord, voice
Mhm.
channel, chatting it up.
Chatting it
I
up.
gotta hop
chopping
in
it
the
up.
next one.
It's really fun. So you should come join us. And yeah. So anyway, I think that's it. I think that's all the things I usually say. It's been a while, but we're so excited to be back. I'm personally very jazzed. I had a great time today, and I missed you guys. And that is to the listeners. And now I missed you guys, Sydney and Chelsea.
Aw, stop,
So-
missed you.
I'm excited for a whole new year of episodes. There's a lot of fucking weird shit coming out this year, and I'm excited to look at it with you beauties. So anyway, at the end of the day, I have to say thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you next Tuesday.
Bye, spookies.
Spooky Tuesday was created by Monica Height, Sydney Thompson, and Chelsea Duff, and edited by Sydney Thompson. Our gorgeously spooky tunes are all thanks to Tamara Simons, who you can follow on Instagram at Great18. That's GR818_. And our podcast art is by Ryan Brom, who you can follow on Instagram at Ryan Brom Art. That's RyanBrommArt. Learn more about Spooky Tuesday at spookytuesdaypod.com and subscribe to our Patreon at patreon.com/spooky_Tuesday.